normally I make action story based kind of games. So that's kind of like horror, shooter, just something action. That's the kind of stuff that I really enjoy to play. Well, I wanted to make this video because I'm making something very different right now with a friend, and it's actually one of those kind of rage games, those kind of streamer bait kind of rage games. And I really used to think these games are stupid. They're not fun. They're just, they just make you mad, right? But now that I've been making it, I'm having so much fun making it. And I do actually think it is fun to play now. So generally speaking, I wouldn't say I'm the target audience for these. I get too mad and I just kind of move on and I don't want to be frustrated with the game. But I think with that in mind, it actually leads to different design decisions to increase a quality of life for the user. So one of those is not necessarily making everything easier, but just trying to make it more playable. And what that means for us is we're having a lot of optional checkpoints that you don't necessarily need to enable. And even if you do use them, it just makes your score a little worse. Well, I guess a lot worse, but it makes your score worse. But you can still play the game. It's not something that you just it's over, right? Like I mean, I can't believe some of these games are you mess up, you start from the beginning. I would never be able to do that. So that's why we're doing it this way. I have a lot of fun making something I've never done before, and it leads to a lot of just different, I guess, a different philosophy in how you're making things. If you have no idea what you're doing, that's obviously not good. So I think kind of breaking this down in to say if you want to do something you've never done before, it has to be something small and simpler. A rage game at the end of the day like this, it's just a platformer. In this case, I guess a 3D platformer. I've made plenty of platformers. I'm sure anyone who's a game dev has just made plenty of little platformers here and there. So you can kind of see that's not something crazy different that I've done before. I've done that. It's not like I'm making a 4X game here. I've never done that. I have no idea what to do. So kind of just want to say, spread your wings a little bit. You just want to be careful when you're doing that though. And what I liked about making something I never would have done before is there's different game mechanics that you just normally wouldn't think of, that you just wouldn't have done them before because, well, it's a genre that you maybe don't know. So you could really be limiting yourself and you might not necessarily know it. However, on the flip side of that, it's definitely good to know what you're doing in a specific genre. Making several horror games in a row was great because I put all this research in for the first one, and then, well, I just kind of knew what to do after that for certain things. So really, it's an interesting thought. It's always good to try something new. I mean, that's basically the whole point of game jams, right? So it's something that you do want to be careful about, though. I do think it's worth it. What is great is some just surprising success. Maybe not necessarily a wish list, but the trailer that my friend made has gotten almost 5,000 views, which has absolutely blown my mind and done way better than anything I have ever done in my life. So that's very exciting. So should you make something you normally wouldn't make or play? Probably. Maybe don't make it a Steam release, but we're already past that point. So I guess we'll see how it all goes. Thanks for watching.